welcome back to our new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here and to help you get settled down. Now, I want you to forget anything you may have heard about the old location. You know, some people still have a somewhat bad impression of the company. That old restaurant was kind of abandoned for quite a while, but I want to reassure you, Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety. So they spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. A bunch of new technology was added, and they even let them walk around during the day. Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database. So they can detect a predator a mile away. Heck, we should be paying them to guard you. Now that being said, notice that it was without its quirks. You're not the first guy to work at this location. The first guy finished his week, but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seem to move around at night, and even attempted to get into his office. No one really has an explanation for this. I personally think that, the robots were never given a proper night mode. So when it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room. So then they try to go find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. But I did come up with a possible solution. You see, I think the older models had a glitch in the system. Something about them seeing you as an endoskeleton without his costume on and wanting to stuff you into a suit. So hey, I've given you an empty Freddy Fazbear head. Put it on at any time, but don't wear it for too long, since it is kind of hard to breathe in it. So if one of them enters your office and sees you with the Freddy head on, they will probably leave you alone. So I'm sure you'll be fine. Something else worth mentioning is the modern design of the building. You may have noticed that there are doors that you can close along with your door lights. And a flashlight. Use them carefully, though, as the building still uses a generator at night. It's a temporary solution, so it probably won't last for long. So, if anyone comes to the doors, you can just close it. Although, I'm not sure how well that will work with the newer models. I don't think they'll just leave when you close the door on them, so, the mask is the better option, it seems. Well, I think that's it. You should be prepared now. But, let me repeat what I've said just to make sure, you know? So, check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Don't overuse the flashlight. Piece of cake, right? Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. chances are you made a very poor career choice. I've always wanted to try this joke out. Night 2, congrats! So, seems like I didn't really mention the newer models yesterday. Sorry about that. If you ever visited the old location, you might remember how the older models look like. Well, if you don't, they weren't exactly the most appealing. So, our designers decided to go in a whole new direction and make them super kid-friendly, especially Foxy. Speaking of Foxy, I'm pretty sure she's not fooled by the Freddy head trick, but, I've heard she's very sensitive to bright lights. All the newer and older models should be, actually. When they encounter a bright light, it causes a system reset or something, which makes them freeze in place for a couple of seconds. However, Foxy doesn't seem to have the same reset feature, and instead, just tries to avoid the bright lights. So, yeah, flashing your light on Foxy should make her back up if she ever leaves her cove. And, well, if she does manage to leave her cove, you can probably just close the door on her. And one more thing. Don't forget to check that music box on the prize counter camera. I'll be honest, I never liked that thing. It's just weird looking. It seems to have the same reset feature related to the bright lights, so you know what to do in that case. But, if it does get out, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, since the Freddy mask should fool it. Although, it has stricter security protocols compared to the others, so you gotta act fast. Anyway, I'm sure it won't be a problem. You have dealt with these guys before. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. told you wouldn't have any problems. Did new Foxy ever leave her code? Probably not, I was just curious. You've most likely seen the older models in the back room. And I mentioned them yesterday, too. So, most of them are dealt with using the doors. Unlike the newer models, they will probably leave when something obstructs their path. Yeah, most of them. Except for, who could have guessed, Foxy again. Yeah, Foxys seem to always stand out from the rest. Anyway, he's not fooled by the Freddy head trick for some reason, and neither the doors because he goes through the hallway. But he's extra sensitive to bright lights, just like the newer Foxy model. So when he comes into the hallway, try to flash your light as much as possible. So that's it for the older models. Oh, hey, before I go, I wanted to clear up information about any rumors you might have heard lately. You know how these spooky stories come and go and barely mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever they are talking about, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with us or the company. It's just a myth, reporters trying to make a buck, you know. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual, and he's on watch from opening to close. Okay, well anyway, hang in there, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Night 4. Have you encountered the older Freddy model yesterday? I hope not, because, I realized he probably wouldn't be fooled by his own head. I, don't really know what's the deal with him, or how to deal with him. Just, I don't know. Try watching him on the cameras a lot. That might just work. If he reaches your office, you can try closing the door on him, but I don't think he'll leave. Just to update you, there's been some kind of investigation going on. We may end up having to close for a few days. I don't know. I want to emphasize, though, that it's really just a precaution. Fazbear Entertainment denies any wrongdoing. These things just happen sometimes. It'll all get sorted out in a few days. Just keep an eye on things and I'll keep you posted. Anyways, hang tight. It'll all pass. Good night. Hello? Hey, so, last shift of the week for you. Try keeping a close eye on everything tonight, okay? From what I've been told, building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, you know, especially concerning anyone from the staff. When the higher-ups sort all this stuff out, I'll try to transfer you... Hold on. Mike Schmidt. You worked in the older location a couple of years ago. And you were fired for, this, seems like the old database is a bit corrupted. Whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. Just get through one more night. Good night.